So, I've been reviewing the Maxie Zeus Build-A-Figure wave from McFarlane's DC Direct re-release line. The Build-A-Figure Collect to Connect. Whatever he calls it, I don't know. But I reviewed Batgirl right here, and not impressed. I reviewed Christmas Joker, and I actually really like that figure. Again, I'm coming from the standpoint of I missed out on all the original DC Direct releases. But I do have to say, McFarlane has his hit or misses. A lot of the paint on these isn't as good, but we'll get into all that. The point of this video is, well, I was going to do them all individually, but honestly, for these last two figures of this wave, I have the least amount to say. So today, we're going to knock these two and the Build-A-Figure all out in one video. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Justin Collects. Make sure you're subscribed. We're on that climb to 1,000 subscribers. And once you subscribe, make sure you stay tuned every Saturday night at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Collecting Justified live stream. You can join me, David, Kenny, Alexi, and Andrew when he's not locked in the basement. But today, we're talking about these guys, and of course, the Build-A-Figure, but we'll get to him. And to be honest, Two-Face right here, we'll go over him first, was arguably the figure I was looking forward to maybe the most out of this wave. Until I got Christmas Joker in hand, I'm like, oh no, this is the best one of the wave. But this Two-Face, honestly, he's not terrible, but the paint, I never had the DC Direct one. The big issue here is, from what I've heard and what I've seen online, just the paint quality on all the DC Directs were just better. This, it's got a little bit of shininess to like the human side of the face. And yeah, I do have to say that as far as like the joints and articulation, this is when I guess they started to update the molds. So the knees are much better, the hip joints are better, they're not those ugly, ratcheted, like weird ratchet hip joints. Like, here we go, I've got the Adventure Continues Two-Face. I guess this one was older, and it's the way they hinge right here, and instead they're on that updated joint, kind of like a more modern action figure, like a Marvel Legends. Updated double jointed knees, they are pinned. Of course, this is a old mold, So the big thing with this is we know what we're going to get as far as articulation and scale, but I'll still put those up on the screen. But the big thing is what's going to differ from this and the original releases are the paint and the accessories. So as far as paint goes, none of it looks bad. It's just a little shiny. I would have preferred a more matte finish. But besides that, it's clean. Honestly, there's a little bit of bleed on the suit where the black goes into the white on mine. Just a tad. You have the cell shading, which honestly has gotten better. It's not as egregious as that Wave 1 with that Batman and Robin, especially the Robin. Oof, yeah. But this guy, it's not bad. It's really not. My biggest gripe with this guy is the accessories. So he comes with, the blue hands and then the skin tone hands. So for the blue hands, he comes with like a wide open hand where he can hold the stick of dynamite he comes with, which is the only weapon he comes with. Comes with a blue left fist, and then another blue kind of like a C-grip holding hand. And for the skin tone hands, he comes with a right fist and a right kind of like pointer finger hand, or I guess you could use that as a trigger finger hand. It's probably meant for the Tommy gun I believe it was a Tommy gun that the original one came with, that this one doesn't come with, because for whatever reason, Warner Brothers doesn't want Todd to release any guns with the DC figures, even though the original came with it, so it is what it is. Besides the Tommy gun not being there, and that bothers me because Two-Face always has a gun, he doesn't have any powers, is the lack of the coin accessory. can see why he didn't include it, because the original one was really easy to lose. So what I would say is just give us a hand with it painted in it, or give us a hand with like the flipping effect, like what he did with the Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face from Batman and Robin or Batman Forever. I can't remember which one. One of those. But that one comes with a flipping effect, and it's not that great looking, but at least it's something, because Two-Face needs his coin, and this guy doesn't come with that. Besides that, seeing how I missed out on the original one, I can justify having this one on my shelf. He is animated series accurate. Like I said, I wish he came with better accessories, but he's at least going to fill that gap for Two-Face on my shelf. Now, moving on, we'll get into Lightning Strike Batman, which is arguably the more divisive figure in the line. Well, in this wave, I should say. It's on the mold I don't like. I prefer the, this one is that ab crunch mold he keeps using, which I hate. I hate how it breaks it up. It's not very usable. It scrapes the paint. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I feel like the more solid torso, it's a little less articulation, but like I said, the ab crunch doesn't really matter that much. I guess they did it for the bike, but the solid torso one just looks so much better. But this guy, he's a Batman. He's a Batman, honestly. It's that crappy soft cape, like a soft plastic. It's not great. It moves out of the way for putting him in the vehicles, I guess. So you can put him in your Batwing, you put him in your Batmobile, you can put him on the Batcycle if you want. He comes with these weapon holding hands, and then, funny thing, his extra hands, comes with a left and a right, are the finger gun hands, which are supposed to be with the Hardak figure, the Hardak Batman figure, that was supposed to be, well, it's in Wave 4 now. This wave was originally Wave 4, and they swapped them.
What, a reverse back? Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap.
So Wave 4 now, which was Wave 3, is Hardak, Poison Ivy, Bane, and Phantasm from Mask of the Phantasm.
Who are you? What do you want?
I want you, Chucky boy.
And I don't know what happened at the factory where these Hardak hands ended up with this Lightning Strike Batman. I don't know how that happened. But whatever. The whole point of this figure is it's a throwback to the Kenner line. I had this Batman. I think I had just about every variation of animated series Batman in the Kenner line. Remember this one? He had like the big like bat cape glider thing, if I'm remembering correctly. And he had this little weapon gun thing, blaster, I guess is what they would call it. But this is like blown up to fit more like his size. He holds it fine, I guess. He's not going to hold it great. Yeah, it's there. I'm going to have him holding it on the shelf because why not? It's just that gray color. So, nothing special. And the paint on this Batman face is not very good. The skin tone is not as good as the original Batman. Even my main animated series Batman in my collection is from when McFarlane first re-released the DC Direct line. It came in that more DC Direct-esque packaging, I think. And you were able to find those at like GameStop and Books A Million, Second and Charles, places like that. That's where I found the Batman, the Harley Quinn, the Robin, and Joker that he re-released. He did a few more, I think. So this is justified for me because I wanted to build the Maxie Zeus Build-A-Figure. And I have nostalgia for this. But if you don't care about the Build-A-Figure, or you just don't, you can easily pass on this. You can probably just buy it for the Build-A-Figure piece and sell this on. It's not that great, but I like it because I'm an idiot, I guess. So then we get into the Maxie Zeus Build-A-Figure. So like I said, throughout all the figures that build him, you do get an extra set of hands. So you get a left fist, a right fist, a right hand to hold his lightning bolt weapon, and then this like open splayed hand. Then of course the lightning bolt effect itself will affect weapon. So let me take that out of there. I mean, it looks nice, and it's nice that they gave it to him. But as far as this figure goes, it's kind of my more disappointing of the three Build-A-Figures. Condiment King had the problem with its legs and being back heavy. Lockup, I think, was actually a really good figure. This is the weakest of the three, in my opinion. There's no torso articulation, and at first, I didn't think there was even a swivel, but it's hidden under the tunic, so. But my biggest issues are, of course, no torso, no nothing. But again, these are all limited articulation. But the whole point of making these is they're updated figures that have never been done before. These are brand new molds that he's keyed up. So I feel like he could have just done more with it, especially with this guy. Everything's single joints on the wrist. The hand popped off. Everything's single joints. And I can get over that with it being a bigger figure. I get it. He doesn't need to do Spider-Man poses or anything. But if you're going to give us single joints, make it pinless. Make it pinless. That's the upside of single joints, right? Right? This guy, single jointed elbows and knees, and they are both pinned. They are both ratcheted really good, so they're tight joints. So there's that. But then my ankles on mine are kind of loose. And at least he has ankle pivot, so there's that. So, I mean, he's gonna stand there and look like Maxie Zeus, and it's cool that he got to build a figure. Well,
Begone, thou foul bat demon!
A figure in this wave, just like Condiment King and Lockup. These more one hit characters, obscure characters, are getting a spot in the line, and I think that's cool. It helps build out that rogues gallery of Batman's villains, because arguably next to Spider-Man, I really think Batman beats Spider-Man out as far as amount of villains and kind of just more unique villains. I guess that's the uniqueness is arguable, so whatever. I like both Batman and Spider-Man, so I don't care. So I mean, the paint is good. I think he does a better job with paint on these Build-A-Figures, but at the end of the day, it's a McFarlane figure. And I will say, you probably have to heat him up to pop this torso piece on. It's hard to squeeze on. And then even when you do have it on, it kind of comes apart pretty easy. So I'd recommend just heating it up all together before you put it together, just to make sure. You don't want to snap a joint or anything like that. But is it justified? I think so. At the end of the day, these are, $24 figures. You buy all four, and you get a Build-A-Figure. So if you missed out on the original DC Direct line and you want Batman the Animated Series on your shelf, this is your only affordable way to go. You want to backtrack and buy all the DC Direct ones, then you're not going to get these. You're going to get better figures with the better paint apps on the DC Direct figures, but it's the exact same molds. And you're going to miss out on these guys. So it depends on how big of a Batman the Animated Series fan you are, honestly. To me, I can justify it. I'm all in on these lines. I hope they continue. I'm excited for the next one. So, guys, that's my review on this entire wave. If you want to see how I felt about Batgirl and Christmas Joker, those are their own individual videos, so go check those out. Besides that, I mean, like I said, I like the wave. I'd recommend checking it out if you're a fan of Batman the Animated Series. Just as far as the line figures go, just know they're not perfect. But they're what we have right now. It's our options right now are kind of limited, to be honest. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like this video, let YouTube know you like it. Check out my back catalog. And like I said before, stay tuned every Saturday night at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for my Collecting Justified podcast, live stream, whatever. It's a live stream. It's not a pre-recorded podcast. But yeah, I have some great co-hosts on there with me. David, Alexi, Kenny, and Andrew when he's not locked in the basement. But I look forward to seeing you in the chat. I'm going to wave Maxie Zeus at you here. Until next time, I appreciate you guys.